So let's look at our last passage here, and then we'll turn to our liturgy. In Philippians 2, the very first verse, Paul writing once again, he says, "So, if there's any encouragement in Christ, any comfort from love, any," and this version in ESV says, "participation in the Spirit, any affection and sympathy," and he leaves off with a hanging quote there. I don't have to read the rest of the passage for you to understand where he's going. The point I'm trying to make is this particular version, ESV, says participation in the Spirit. But if we look over at the Greek, it's koinonia. It's koinonia, right? Koinonia pneumatos. So it's the same Greek word, Strong's number 2842, that we've been looking at all along. Why ESV choose participation instead of changing it to, say, fellowship, I'm not sure why. And I suppose if I click on this verse real quick, just to check the other parallel versions of the Bible, see if we have fellowship showing up in any of them. NIV, any sharing in the Spirit. New Living Translation, any fellowship. There we go. We got our fellowship word there. ESV, we already saw, participation. Berean Study Bible, fellowship. Berean Literal Bible, fellowship. King James Bible, fellowship. New King James Bible, fellowship. New American Standard Bible, fellowship. NASB 95, fellowship, right? And you get the idea. We can go down and look at all those. So the point is, the word fellowship does show up in many other translations owing to the fact that it is the Greek word that we are already familiar with, which is the koinonia. And that's really just going to help us to understand as we draw the Trinity study to a close tonight that God is trying to reveal himself to us. He started with the revelation of who he was as the one God who created the universe, the creator, the one who brought everything into existence. But as history unfolds before his eyes, keeping in mind that he knows the end from the beginning, but as history unfolds, as time marches forward before his very eyes, and he deals with mankind, he progressively revealed more and more of who he was to mankind, particularly to Israel, through the scriptures of Israel and the prophets of Israel and the writings and things like that, to the point that when we finally get to the apostolic scriptures and this time period that we're dealing with right now, we've got the full revelation of God through the Son, the incarnation of God coming to man in the form of a man, in the person of a man who's 100% man, but yet in the mysterious way, still 100% God. And that'll do it for our Trinity study for tonight.